In a world that's changing faster than ever, what if the single most important leadership skill has nothing to do with spreadsheets or supply chains, but everything to do with meaning? Well, today, we're diving into something called spiritual intelligence, or SQ, and why it's quickly becoming the new frontier for truly effective modern leadership.
So, here's our game plan. First, we're going to break down what SQ actually is and what it isn't. Then, we'll get practical and talk about how you can start building this capacity in yourself. From there, we'll see how that personal work can totally transform your company culture. And finally, we're going to connect it to maybe the biggest challenge of our lifetime, leading with our humanity intact in the age of AI. You know, this really gets to the heart of the matter. It's a question that sets the stage for everything we're about to talk about. Is leadership just a title someone gives you, a badge you wear, or is it something you do, something you practice through conscious, intentional actions every single day? As you'll see, SQ is all about the second one.
All right, so let's get a clear foundation here. What exactly is spiritual intelligence? It's a term that can sound a little out there, especially in a business setting, so let's demystify it right now.
Okay, here's the textbook definition. Spiritual intelligence is a universal human capacity. That means it's for everybody. It's really about your ability to find a deep sense of meaning and purpose, to see how we're all connected, and to really get clear on the core values that are going to steer the ship for you in your life and as a leader.
And this is so important because it clears up a ton of misconceptions right away. SQ is not about a specific religion. It's not some rigid dogma. And it's definitely not anti-business or some vague, fluffy, soft skill. No, it's a practical framework. It's about purpose, connection, values, and that deep self-awareness that leads to incredibly powerful and grounded leadership.
So, if we all have this capacity, how do you actually, grow it? Well, it all starts with you. This isn't some corporate program that gets rolled out. The work begins inside by cultivating your own inner world as a leader. And it can start with 3 simple but really profound practices. First up, stillness. Just creating little pockets of quiet in our crazy busy lives. Maybe it's 5 minutes of meditation or just a walk in the park without your phone. Next is journaling. And this isn't about writing a masterpiece. It's just about having a raw, honest conversation with yourself on paper. And finally, reflection. Having the guts to ask yourself the big questions, like, hey, what really matters to me at the end of the day? And this is the whole point of that inner work. It's about getting so clear on who you are that you can show up as your authentic self no matter the situation. That's the foundation of purposeful leadership, when what you do is just a natural expression of who you are. And from that authentic core, you can start building real connection. This is about going deeper than just surface-level chit-chat. It's about active listening, really listening to understand, not just to reply. It's about genuinely celebrating the different perspectives on your team. And it's about shifting your mindset to one of service, constantly asking, how can I help the people around me win? And this is where it gets really exciting. Because all that inner work you're doing, it doesn't just stay with you. It creates this powerful ripple effect that starts to shape the entire culture of your team and your organization. But none of that can happen without this one thing: psychological safety. This is the absolute bedrock. It's that shared feeling in a group that it's okay to be vulnerable, to throw out a crazy idea, to admit you made a mistake, or even to challenge the way things are done without fearing you'll get shot down. Without this, you can forget about authenticity. So check this out. It's the leader's specific actions that build this culture, pillar by pillar. When you, as a leader, take the time to connect the daily grind to the big picture mission, boom, you're building the pillar of shared purpose. When you actually take your vacation and unplug, you're building the pillar of well-being for your whole team. Your behavior literally becomes the architect of the environment. Okay, let's shift gears now and talk about what might just be the ultimate test for this kind of leadership in our century. How in the world do we lead with wisdom and purpose in the age of artificial intelligence? And the claim here is a big one. SQ isn't just a nice to have when it comes to AI. It is an absolute necessity. Why? Because it provides the moral compass. That human-centered wisdom, that pure brain power or IQ just can't provide on its own. Just look at the difference here. An IQ-only approach asks, can we build it? An SQ-informed approach stops and asks, wait, should we build it?
It shifts the whole conversation from just chasing efficiency to actually centering on human well-being. It moves us from seeing tech as the answer to everything to seeing it as a tool that has to serve us, not the other way around.
So how do you actually do this? Well, here are 3 principles you can start with. First, create a real AI ethics charter that's tied to your company's purpose. Second, make sure you have more than just engineers in the room. Bring in ethicists, sociologists, and the actual people who will be affected. And third, build in moments for your teams to just stop, pause, and really think through the real-world impact of what they're building. So we've gone on quite a journey, right? From your own inner awareness all the way out to the ethics of AI. But here's the thing, it all comes back to you. The biggest challenges we face, from culture to technology, are all shaped by the small choices you make as a leader, day after day. So if you remember nothing else, let it be these 3 things. 1. SQ is a practical, learnable skill for any leader. 2. The work you do on yourself is the single most powerful lever you have to change your culture. And 3, in the world we're heading into, SQ is no longer optional. It's a non-negotiable for responsible leadership. And that brings us to one last question for you to think about. When all is said and done, beyond the promotions and the quarterly reports, what will your leadership legacy actually be? What kind of impact, what legacy of purpose and humanity will you choose to build?